All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 89 of Pozios Picks. In today's episode, I'm going over the Week 13 college football slate, some of my favorite plays from this rivalry week slate. A lot of huge games, especially with some playoff implications, and of course, the big Michigan Ohio State game. So, without further ado, let's just get right into things here. The first game I'm going to go over, obviously, the game of the day. Michigan is going to Columbus to take on Ohio State. Ohio State are anywhere from 7.5 to 8-point favorites, depending on where you look. Obviously, the game that everyone's going to be watching today means a ton for the rivalry, a ton for the college football playoff. A lot of different scenarios can unfold depending on how this one goes. Now, for those of you who were with us last year, you might remember the infamous Game of the Year incident when I put upwards of 20 units on Ohio State to cover last year, and we all know what happened on that afternoon in Ann Arbor a year ago. I'm not coming anywhere close to making this my game of the year, but as the game gets closer, it kind of scares me how much I like this game. Personally, I think that Ohio State hadn't taken Michigan seriously for about 10 years until last year, and I know for a fact they are pissed about what happened last year, and they're also mad about this soft portrayal that they've gotten from the media. The defense has been pretty good this year. They get this soft portrayal because they like to throw the ball a lot, but I mean, it works for them, obviously. They're undefeated. They're going to be ready to go tomorrow in Columbus. A sunny day, no weather to hinder that air attack. I really, really like Ohio State when you look at those factors. Now, looking at the other side of things, something to keep an eye on is obviously the health of Blake Corum. We aren't really going to know anything for real until the game starts. That's kind of the tough thing about college football. They really don't have to say anything at all. As Blake Corum goes, this Michigan team goes. We've seen it all season. We saw it last week when he went out against Illinois. They struggled a lot and almost lost that game. If he's healthy, I think this is a close game. But I do not think he's going to be 100%. Emotions are going to run high. I think that plays into Michigan's favor because the way they play the game, if they can do it successfully, that travels anywhere you go. On the road, the most hostile environments, when you can run the ball down someone's face, it works no matter where you are. If they can command the run like they did last year, they 100% can win this game or at least cover this number. Now, like I said, I don't think they'll be able to. I'm curious to see what Corum or Edwards or whoever comes back, isn't in, whatever happens. I'm curious to see what happens. I don't think that either of them are going to be 100%. It's going to be very, very interesting to see once the game starts. Do I think that Michigan will hang in this game? Personally, no. I think it'll be close in the beginning. Ohio State will pull away in the end. I think that the Ohio State factors, when you look at them, outweigh the Michigan factors, especially with the health of the running backs. This Ohio State team is by far the best team that Michigan has faced this season. Michigan has not had the best schedule at all. And I think that Ohio State on the road, in the shoe, the crazy environment, them being pissed off, I think it's just going to be too much for Michigan in the end. I'm going to take Ohio State to cover this number. I personally took it last week at -7. I'm also going to take a small sprinkle on Ohio State -13.5. The only way that I think that Ohio State wins this by multiple touchdowns is if Corum or Edwards or whoever is back there is out. If they get hurt in the game or don't end up playing or whatever happens, that's the only way I think that can happen. That's why that's just a small sprinkle. So, gonna be a great game to get our day started today. Next game on the slate, Auburn is going to Alabama in the Iron Bowl. Alabama are 22-point favorites at home. Like I said, the Iron Bowl heads back to Tuscaloosa after that crazy overtime game at Auburn last year. This line is really, really scary. We haven't seen Alabama cover these big spreads really all year. So honestly, I kind of hate this play, but I'm going to take Alabama -21. I really can't believe it, and a lot of people don't think it'll happen, but there's a chance that Alabama squeaks into that 4 spot in the playoff. Obviously, a lot of things have to bounce their way. Teams have to lose by a certain amount of points, this and that. But the one thing that they can control is this game. And I think that Saban is really going to try to stomp Auburn to put them at least into consideration. They have to easily cover this game, win it by multiple touchdowns if they want any shot at all of getting into the playoff this year. Auburn is just simply not good. They haven't been good all year. They've given up points. If this Alabama offense can get it going, I do not think they're going to stop. Give me Alabama minus 21, and also give me Alabama team total over 36.5 points. A last stand for Saban and the Tide at home in the Iron Bowl. The next game I want to go over, not going to go too deep in this one. Memphis is going to SMU. The total is set at 69 in this game. Both of these teams can score the ball. Memphis averages 35 points per game. SMU averages almost 39 points per game. This SMU defense is horrible. They give up 35 points per game. I mean, we saw it. They were in that 130-point game earlier in the year against Houston. I think we just see an old-school shootout here between two good offenses and two not-so-great defenses, especially when we're talking about SMU. So over 69 is going to be my play for this one. The next game I want to go over, Notre Dame are 4.5-point underdogs going to the West Coast to take on USC. An awesome old-school color game, prime time on national TV. This is going to be a great one to watch. Now, I like USC. I've bet on them a lot this year. They haven't let me down, but I personally think that this is their letdown spot. The reason they've been able to pull off these wins lately is because they've just gotten into Pac-12 shootouts, and Caleb Williams has carried them to wins and delivered in big moments. Notre Dame is not that type of team at all that's going to get into a shootout type game with them, and I think USC is going to run into some trouble because of that. If Notre Dame can really establish the run, play smash-mouth football, this USC defense is going to want no part of that, and at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to give USC and Caleb Williams enough possessions to win this game. Personally, I think Notre Dame goes in there and wins this game, but we have the points to work with, so my play here is going to be Notre Dame plus the 4.5 on the road. Should be an awesome, awesome primetime game. The last game I'm going to go over, shortened slate this week. We had games Thursday, Friday, big rivalry games. I didn't like as many of the lines, but I love this game to close it out for you guys. And also remember to follow us on Pickett at Pozios Picks. You'll see all the added plays and whatnot for today. The last game is Kansas going to Kansas State. Kansas State are 11-point favorites in this one. Kansas State needs to win this game to secure a spot in the Big 12 championship game. And even though this was a much better year for Kansas, I do not think the Jayhawks are going to have enough to stay in this game. The past few games especially, teams have run all over Kansas. And this K-State team is going to want to do that over and over again with Deuce Vaughn and their other backs in the backfield. K-State is just going to want to punch them in the face over and over and over again. And I think with that O-line and that rushing attack, they are easily going to be able to do so and secure a spot in that Big 12 championship game against TCU. Give me K-State minus 11 and also a bonus prop for this game. Deuce Vaughn, the running back for K-State, to score 2 touchdowns is at minus 130. I love that play. The Wildcats roll at home to close out their season. That is all I have for you guys today. Good luck to everybody on your Saturday bets. Before we go, though, I just want to plug a couple things. Number one, like I said, be sure to follow us over on Pickett. Pickett is a place where you can track all of your bets automatically. You can follow us, get notifications for every single bet we take. It's really just the best community, especially now that we have college basketball, college football, NBA, NFL, everything going at once. You really need somewhere where you can track your bets easily and automatically, and Pickett does that for you. So be sure to sign up there. Use our promo code POZIOSPICKS. You get a sign-up bonus when you do so. Also, remember that we have merch. Merch link is down in the description below. Go ahead and check it out. We dropped a bunch of new stuff for the fall. We've got some great designs. We would really appreciate it if you guys checked that out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching if you're on YouTube. Like I said, good luck to everybody. Let's have a great end to this college football regular season, and we will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.